the best thing I did, and I want you to know, was letting you in. From that moment I knew that you were all I missed. Baby, it took just one kiss, 'cause here in your arms I...
Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new, karibu, welcome. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for always making time to come on with me. We have a guest on set today. Introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Jacob, Marian's husband.
Yeah, so today is an interesting story. We're just about our day, doing our shoots, and something crazy happened.
As
So
always.
you want to take it away?
So, this is the tale of how we almost got arrested. Well, I almost got arrested because, you know, yeah. For those of y'all who don't know what a Mzungu is, it's just the Swahili word for a white person. Yeah. Well, we were going home. That's it. We were just trying to get home. That's all we wanted to do was cross a bridge. That's it. So we're in a, what do they call them? A tuk-tuk?
Tuk-tuk,
Yeah. Tuk-tuk is a little three-wheeled.
This is a tuk-tuk.
Yeah. So we're in the tuk-tuk, we're heading home, and there's a checkpoint on the bridge that we need to cross.
If you're familiar with Malindi, Malindi is at the coastal town. If you're familiar, there's the bridge, the Sabaki Bridge, Sabaki River Bridge. So that's where we were, and there's always a checkpoint where police, you know, are trying to check the people who are crossing the bridge, because it's also on the way to Lamu. So, you know, because of Al-Shabaab and all that, so they have a checkpoint there. So that's where we were. We were from Mambrui going to Malindi town, and so we were crossing that bridge.
Yeah. We get pulled over. Was it by, what was it? He didn't look like a cop.
It's the AP. I think, yeah. It was more of an AP cop, not the traffic police.
Yeah, he had on a green uniform.
Yeah.
I'm used to seeing the all blue ones with, you know, with the little hat. This guy, he looked more like the military.
It's the AP. The AP, yeah,
okay.
I think.
So we get pulled over by the AP. He talks to the driver for a little bit, asking for his license and all this documents, and he even pulls him out of the vehicle. He didn't pull him, but he asked him to step out, turn off your vehicle, step out. And in my experience, in the States, if you are asked to get out of your vehicle, you're probably going to jail. You're probably going to jail.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting in the back with Marian, and I'm watching all this happen, and I'm thinking, it's like, I'm getting bad vibes from it. And I noticed that the AP guy is looking in the back. He looks at me specifically for a second longer than what I'm comfortable with. Well, he chit-chats with the driver a little bit, goes back to us, and he asked Marian for her passport or ID, and asked for mine, and I had my passport. So I gave him my passport, let him look at it for a little bit, and what else? He walks away, I think. Yeah,
he walks away. So by the time he pulled the driver out of the tuk-tuk, I knew what was going on, because I could hear what they were trying to say, and I could hear he was, you know, talking about you're carrying a Mzungu and all that. So I knew this guy outright wants money, and the minute I noticed he's actually he just wants some money, you know, like a bribe. I was like, I told Jacob, do not give him any money. So don't give him any money. And so I remember when he came to ask before he asked for my documents, he came and stood at the tuk-tuk just next to it, and he was looking at us, and I asked him, boss, what's the problem? And he's like, madam, who are you talking to like that? I was like, you stopped us and we are going home, so I want to know what is the problem, and you're here. So he's like, give me your ID. I was like, okay. So I pulled out my ID from the bag, and I gave him. And then he was like, and you, mister, give me your identification document. And so my husband pulls out his passport, and he gave him the passport. So he looks at the passport, and boom, he sees, American passport. Good money.
You could see it in his eyes, like, oh,
Dollar.
like I gave him a freaking golden ticket or something. He's like, bro, come on, man. I'm just trying to get home. I'm tired. I'm sandy. I'm sweaty. I'm not. I don't want to do this today. Come on.
His eyes, literally, you could see like this is a jackpot. You know that was the expression on his face. So he took our documents and went back to the driver, and he started talking to the driver, and I don't know, for like 5 minutes they were back and forth with the driver, back and forth, and immediately he came to where we were again and stood there, and he's like, no, before that the driver came to us. The driver left the guy there, the police guy there, and he came to us. So I was asking the driver, what's the problem? What does he want? And the driver told me, he's just disturbing me. There's really nothing he wants. He keeps telling me.
There's no reason for him to have even kept us that long, really.
Exactly. The driver kept telling us that the cop is telling him he's carrying a tourist in a car that's not meant for tourists. That was what he kept telling him, like, you're carrying a tourist in a car that's not for tourists. And so this guy got confused because this is a tuk-tuk. A tuk-tuk is by far like, as private as it can get. You understand?
Like, when you come here, everybody takes a tuk-tuk. Everybody. Doesn't matter who it is. Tourist, local, doesn't matter.
Exactly. So anyway, the driver comes to our side, and I tried to ask him what's the problem, and we at this point confused. So the driver goes back to the cop, and then the cop is like, you know what, I'm taking you guys to the police cell. I'm taking you to the police station.
Yeah.
So he comes to where we are, and he's like, get down from the car. And so the driver also comes and is like, you know what, this guy is just being difficult. Let's do this. Let's go to the station the way he wants us to go to the station. So
yeah. And so the AP guy and Marion, because come back, he's telling us to get out. So they get into it. And I'm just sitting in the middle between the two of them thinking, it's like, this is going to go one of two ways. It's like, we're really going to go to jail, or we're going to get cut loose. Let's see what happens. I can't say anything because, well, for one thing, they're speaking in Swahili. And secondly, what exactly can I say? I don't know the laws here. I don't know what the protocol is. I don't know how to talk to a supervisor or anything like that. I don't know. So I just stay silent. And that's probably the best thing you can do in a situation like, it's like,
well, you
just be quiet. Hell no.
No.
I was like, what's he gonna do?
Yeah.
I'm not breaking any law.
I was also not scared because I realized, first of all, I checked this guy. He was drunk as hell, and secondly, whatever he's telling us is the reason for him arresting us. Like, it's because we are riding in a tour. We're riding a tourist in a car that's not meant for tourists. That was like the most silliest or most stupid reason ever. So
it's like getting a ticket for eating a banana.
Exactly.
In your house.
At this point, so I wasn't scared, and like he was saying, we were back and forth with each other with this cop because I was trying to ask him what the problem is, and he kept telling me this is a Muzungu and the car we're using is not for Muzungus. And I was like, so I tried to explain to him. I tell him, sir, listen, right now we're having a lot of trouble with the fuel, number one. Number two, because there's no fuel, there are very minimal cars that we can get on the road, and we really have to go to where we were going. Number three, the cars that are available, like taxis or the tourist cars that for you seem like they are the right tourist vehicles, are way expensive right now because of the fuel issue. There was a time we had fuel issue in Kenya. Remember that time? Yeah. So I was like, this tuk-tuk guy, we've met, we've agreed on the price, he's taken us to where we're going, and now he's taking us back. So if I was in a matatu, would you still have stopped me to tell me I come out of the matatu because this is a Muzungu and he's not supposed to be in a matatu or what? So that's what we were talking about, but he was not having it. He was like, no, get down, we're going to the police station. And so
they get into a word battle, right? For any of y'all who have ever been in the military, you may know what a knife hand is. And usually either an NCO or somebody higher will point at you like this. And if they do that, it's a pretty serious thing. It's sort of like it's a very commanding gesture. She threw a knife hand at the AP guy. The AP guy didn't know what the hell to do, so he just kept trying to argue his case. But she was boom, 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 and she even like, I was like, this dude has a rifle slung across his chest. Like, I'm gonna catch a rifle butt to the face. I'm preparing, mentally getting ready to be hit in the face with a rifle butt.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they ended up somehow. I think you called for a supervisor.
Yeah. So by the time we were not like as at that time when we were still exchanging words, there was one of the tour guide who was with us.
Mm-hmm.
Had just alighted there at the bridge. So I think he saw we were stuck or were stopped for quite some minutes, and so he came back. So when he got back, he was like, what's up, what's going on?
Mm-hmm.
And so I explained to him, I'm like, this cop here has stopped us, and he's saying he wants to take us to the police station because we are riding a Muzungu in a car that's not for Muzungus, like the tuk-tuk is not for Muzungus. And so this guy was like, oh, is that what he's saying? All right then. So the tour guide is also, yeah, get into the car, let's go to the police station, let's go. So at this point I think everybody was,
what's up, Papa? We're not mad at you, we're telling us stories.
So at this point we all agree, let's go to the police station.
Let's do
now
this.
at this point I am like, I've never been to police jail.
That's right, tiny baby. Fight the power. Fight the power.
I've never been to like a police cell before. I've never been arrested before. I've never been come close like to being arrested like this ever before. So I'm like, if I'm gonna get arrested today for riding my husband in a tuk-tuk, who happens to be a Mzungu and he's not supposed to ride in a tuk-tuk or in a tuk-tuk, then well and good, Now, let's just make it clear that there is no such law in Kenya. There is no such law in Kenya that a Mzungu cannot ride on a tuk-tuk or in a tuk-tuk.
Total bullshit.
There's no law like that. Yeah.
Total BS.
Yeah. So there's no law like that in Kenya, like you cannot ride, like a Mzungu cannot ride. This is a free state. Anybody can ride whatever you want. You're a Mzungu, if you like riding a matatu, go ahead. A matatu is a public, service vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
You want to ride on a tuk-tuk, you want to ride a motorbike, you want to ride whatever.
Yeah.
It's a free state.
You want to jump in a matatu? Go for it.
Exactly. So I knew whatever he's telling us is total bull.
Yeah, bull crap.
Yeah. So, as we are, now getting into the tuk-tuk, his supervisor comes. So his supervisor comes and then he's noticing there's a commotion because now I'm all losing it. And at this point, remember, we had actually gone for a shoot. We were actually shooting some content in Mambrui. So my camera was still on. The only thing I needed to do was just pick it up and start shooting. And I was ready to do that. I was like, you know what? This is the era of social media and everything is on social media. You cannot mess around with people's, rights and all that. So I was ready to pick up my camera and start recording that moment. So the supervisor notices there's like a commotion, and so he comes. He asks, what's the problem? So when the officer asks what's the problem, everybody's quiet, but Myron speaks. I'm like, sir, this guy right here has stopped us. He's pulled us over. One, he's asked the driver for his license, and the driver told him to check online. There's a system where you can check online for the licenses of the drivers. So the driver told him he doesn't have the ID, but he can check his license online. He went online, checked it, and then he came to us. He asks for our identification documents. We've given them to him, and so he says he wants to take us to the police station because we've committed an offense of driving in a vehicle that's not for tourists. Because this guy is a foreigner. He said this guy is a foreigner, and so he should be riding in tourist vehicles, and the tuk-tuk we're using is not a tourist vehicle. And so I'm like, I do not understand that law, but I mean, here we are. He's saying we go to the police station, and I explained to the senior, and I told him, listen, one, there are taxis that we could have hired, I agree, but we could not hire taxis because there were no taxis around because there's an issue with fuel. So the taxis that we're getting are damn expensive, and
fuel shortage was very real.
Exactly, and we still have to go and do our job because we're working somewhere, and now we're going back home. And so I'm asking this guy, if I was in a matatu, because we were to take a matatu, but then the tuk-tuk guy said he will take us to town. So if we were in a matatu, would he have stopped us in the matatu and asked us to step out of the matatu because he's a foreigner? You know?
Yeah.
And so when his senior had that story, he was like, go, 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 go. And he just told the driver to just go, 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 go. So we got into the tuk-tuk and we drove away.
Yeah.
But that was like the funniest thing ever.
I was like, it was stupid.
Anyway, so I was so ready that day to go to the cell. I was ready to get arrested that day.
Nobody knows the trouble
I was like, you know what? It's the adventures of Marie, and we were out shooting. It was the adventures we were creating, and this is part of the adventures.
This would have been so much street cred. It was like, yeah, so we're shooting live in jail. We got arrested for bogus charges. Bogus.
That's very bogus. And I was like, I'm with my husband in any case, so the only thing we were worried about is like our side, you know, but we knew there was no case there, like literally there was no case. But we managed to go past that, and it was exciting.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I've never seen my wife argue with a cop and win. And I was like, look at that. Which actually, it reinforces the that time-honored wisdom of don't argue with your wife because you're gonna lose.
Anyway, that's the story, guys. If you've ever, have had an encounter with the law or the cops here in Kenya when you travel, or even just as a local, because I know that's not just an issue with Mzungus.
Yeah, if they just want to step into your space and see if they can squeeze you for a couple extra coins. Yeah, go ahead and sound off in the comments. Let us know. Tell us your story. Exactly. How did you get out alive? And if also if any of y'all that are stateside watching this, yeah, tell your story too, because I know damn well it happens in the States.
Oh yeah?
Oh god, yeah. Alright, well.
So, ciao guys, and we'll see you in the next one. Remember to be kind to one another, love one another, and treasure every minute you spend with one another, because tomorrow...
It's not promised today.
Bye-bye.
Adios.